How you doing today? My name is Scott Delconzo, and I'm the Assistant Strength and Conditioning Coach for Lamar University. This is Fletcher, our athlete, and we're going to teach her how to hang power clean today. When I'm looking at my athlete, one of the first things I'm going to look at is her feet positioning. All right, I'm going to have her feet just underneath her hips, toes straight ahead. This is the best for developing power. Her grip with her hands are going to be it's going to be right outside her thighs or make an L. Now, what I want her to do is I want her to bend down, great posture. I want her to grab that bar and stand up in a nice athletic position. Once your athlete's there and that bar is resting right in that hip crease, I'm going to tell her to bend her knees 2 inches and kind of engage her shoulders, not pull too far back, but engage your shoulders a little bit. Now for the actual movement, Fletch, I want you to take that bar with great posture. All right, I want you to come down. Bar's going to slide down your thighs. It's going to hit the top of your knees once here. I want you to jump, catch. Your feet are going to be in a squat stance, and you're going to be locked down in front squat position at the exact same time. Then reset your feet, 1, 2. So now you're in a receiving position, ready to pull again. Let's do 5 reps. Good. That was real good. The only thing, maybe just get that bar a little higher, kind of like in that pocket on your shoulder, so that front rack is a little easier to receive it in. Good. That was an excellent rep. Bar path was good. Locked out, receiving position, same time. Really good. Let's have another perfect rep. There we go. That was good. That was much more aggressive. All right, same thing. It's got to be hip pop, land, aggressive. Good. One more. Same thing. Same intent. Real aggressive, real violent. Good. Maybe your shoulders were or even with the bar. I would say you want to get your chest and your shoulders slightly above, but overall it's pretty good. All right, just set the bar down with great posture. Right, and that's hang power clean. Now we're going to move on to the back squat. The first thing I want to do with my athletes is make sure they can just do a body weight air squat with proficient mobility in the bottom position and plus at the top. So first, this is not the same as a hang power clean. We're actually going to move her feet slightly outside her shoulders. Once she gets there, I want her to turn her toes out about 20 to 30 degrees. And this is just a general starting position. Depending on how tall they are, she is built very, very proportionately, so she's probably going to be very good at this movement. But once you get your athletes that have a short torso and longer femur, you might have to work with their stance a little bit. It might have to be a little bit wider, it might be a little more narrow, with their toes turned out a little bit. It kind of depends on each and every athlete, but this is a general starting position. So Fletch, I want you to bend. First thing I want you to do, you got your stance already. I want your hips to come back first, and then I want you to bend your knees. I want you to make sure your hip crease, all right, is either equal to or slightly below your knee joint. You're going to hold. I'm going to look at you for a second. I'm going to say up, and you're going to stand up. When you stand up, make sure you flex your glutes at the top, so eventually over time, your hip flexors don't start shortening, and you can end up having some low back pain. Ready? Down. Up. Great. She had great posture, no knee valgus. All right, she kind of almost spread her knees on the way down. It was very, very good. Rep 2, down. Up. Good. Down. Up. So there's a little bit of a butt wink at the bottom. We can work on this as the athlete goes. This is real common in a lot of athletes once they kind of break parallel, especially if they have really tight hamstrings. So their butt is going to kind of start coming underneath their hips. Nothing terrible, but something that's going to be evaluated and we're going to need to work on. All right. So now we're going to work inside the barbell and go with barbell squat once they've shown proficient movement patterns. So your hands. Really, there's not one general rule of thumb. It's really where you're comfortable. All I want is I don't want too narrow and I don't want too wide. So for me personally, I put my ring finger here, I roll into it and I grab each side. Ideally, not too wide, not too narrow, and you want them even. All right, you don't want them in 2 different places. Okay, so let's walk underneath. She's gonna get her hands nice and even depending on where they are. Okay, they're even. She's gonna roll underneath, put the bar on the top of her traps. She stands up, takes 2 steps out. 2 steps out. You want them inside the safety bar racks. The idea is we're looking to protect their spine, and if she fails and the bar crushes her, we're not protecting her out, doing our due diligence. So we need these safety bar racks, so that's why 2 steps out. A lot of athletes like to walk all the way out here, and then there's no point in having them there. So right now our feet are a little narrow. I'm going to tell her to take a step outside on each one of them. Take a slightly wider. Okay? It's going to be the same thing. Hips are going to come back. You're going to bend your knees. You're not going to pause at the bottom though. You're just going to come down and come right back up. Smooth down, drive up. Ready? And give me 5 reps. Good. Squeeze your glutes at the top. She's looking straight ahead. She's not looking down. She's maintaining her posture. Good. Stay tight at the bottom. Good. That's 3. Good. Your right foot is actually slightly in front of your left. Just back it up slightly. Just move it back a little bit. Okay. Good forward lean. Okay. Now in re-racking it, I'm going to grab both sides. Make sure the bar is completely inside the J-hooks. Come down. She's bend down, step out. Okay. And that's back squat. For the third and final movement, we're going to go over the bench press. Looking at the bench press, I'm looking at 5 points of contact. I'm looking at my feet, my butt. I'm going to look at my head and then my hands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The grip is going to be the tip of the thumb at the beginning of the smooth part of the knurling and then wrap around. Both sides. Ideally, this is your starting position. Obviously, the bigger your athlete or the smaller your athlete, they might have to adjust their grip a little bit because that grip might be more conducive to a wide grip bench press, or maybe even a narrow grip bench press. It's really depending on your athlete, but it's a general rule of thumb to get everybody going. I just don't want them being in a position where their hands are just completely inside the smooth part because then it's going to put a lot of pressure on your wrist, your elbows, and your shoulder. All right? So let's just get in that starting position first, Fletch. Feet, butt, head, and hands. Okay, yeah, you're going to notice that our athlete Fletch right here, he's a very short athlete. So a lot of times, this is a really high bench press. So this athlete might experience if they have any low back pain because their hips being up so high, they're going to have a large arch of tension. A couple ways to alleviate some low back pain. You can put some kilos underneath their feet or have her drive her feet into the actual bench itself. Are you in any pain whatsoever?
No.
Okay, so let's get your hands in the proper positioning, thumbs tipping the knurling, wrapped around. Now, spotters. Myself, she's going to give me a count. I'm going to go outside for our female athletes for obvious reasons. We're going to go outside. I'm going to go under and over. She's going to give me a 3 count. And then I'm going to help her, lift her, and put her in position.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, once she's here, she lets go. She actually needs to move slightly down on the bench a little bit. So let's move your body slightly down a little bit, Fletch. Okay, all right, good. The bar should be right in front or below her eyes slightly. The idea is that you don't want it too far back. You don't want it too far forward. All right, the bar pad should be straight down and drive straight up. Her elbow should be in a 45-degree angle. All right, Fletch. Let's give me 5 reps. Smooth down, drive up. Almost 45. Touch her sternum, comes up again. Smooth down, controlled, comes up. The arch of tension doesn't break at all. She uses her leg drive to put as much force into the ground as possible. Here's forward, fast on the up, control down, speed on the up. Good. Now when she's done, I'm going to grab both sides, drop it back into the J-hooks, make sure it's in there, so God forbid it doesn't take a lot of pressure to dislocate a shoulder. They're in the J-hooks, she's good, and that's bench press.